Hey activist, we're glad you're here. Ready to end human trafficking and contribute to a better world? Well, to do that, we have to start with the very basics. Like, what is human trafficking? What makes it different from other crimes? And what does our justice system say about it? This is just a starting point, but we need foundational information before moving forward. Ready? Let's get rolling. What exactly is human trafficking and exploitation? Exploitation is the action or fact of treating someone unfairly in order to benefit from their work. For example, a supervisor could hold factory workers in inhumane conditions with little to no pay, or an ex or significant other could upload someone's private photos to the internet without consent. So, how does exploitation play into human trafficking? The federal definition defines trafficking as this. Human trafficking is a crime that involves exploiting a person for labor, services, or commercial sex. Let's be clear, human trafficking does not require the movement of people. Trafficking can occur within the same country, state, city, or even neighborhood. Human trafficking has occurred in every state in the US, and there is no single profile for trafficking victims. It is estimated that hundreds of thousands of men, women, and children are trafficked each year in the United States. So, how is human trafficking fought in our legal and criminal justice system? Taking a look back into history, we know human trafficking is not a new crime. The Code of Hammurabi was the first document that pertained to slavery in 1720 BC. Even in biblical text, we see stories such as Joseph's, as he was trafficked and sold by his brothers to the Ishmaelites. Even in America, trafficking has existed ever since Christopher Columbus took the land from Native Americans. In the US, it wasn't until 2000 the first federal law to address trafficking was enacted with the Trafficking Victims Protection Act. This act defined human trafficking into two separate buckets: sex trafficking and labor trafficking. Sex trafficking happens when a commercial sex act is induced by force, fraud, or coercion, or in which the person induced to perform such an act has not attained 18 years of age, in which case force, fraud, coercion don't have to be present. Labor trafficking is the recruitment, harboring, transportation, provision, obtaining of a person for labor or services through the use of force, fraud, or coercion, for the purpose of subjection to involuntary servitude, peonage, debt bondage, or slavery. This is only the start of our journey. Now let's roll on to learn more.